holidays would be harvesting.
Right.
And then the October half term would be potato picking week, wasn't it? So we were expected to do that. So we were, from about sort of 7 or 8, we were expected to do quite a lot of work.
And did you get paid for that? Or
No.
Not? No.
No, we never got paid.
No, you just got bed and board.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and we used to get the odd treat if we finished early in the summer when we were harvesting and it was nice weather. My uncle used to take us to the swimming baths every so often, and we'd have a splash around, and that would be a treat.
Yeah. Did you have animals on the farm or not?
Yes, we did. Yeah, cows. I don't remember too much about the pigs, but we did used to have pigs.
Yeah.
And cows, and then later on we had sheep.
Right. So did you manage to get holidays or not?
No. We used to have, we always went to the Royal Show down in Stoneleigh. We used to have a day off school.
Where's Stoneleigh?
Down in Warwickshire.
Right.
My mum would write a letter to the head teacher, and whoever was the oldest at school at the time had to go and knock on the head teacher's door and give him this note and stand there and wait for his reply. We used to take a day off and drive down, and really that was a big event for us, really.
Yeah.
And then we'd have a day in. We used to go to Arnside quite a lot.
Right.
I remember the fishing hooks on the sand, and then fishing hooks, and probably the funniest thing that I remember about that is that my brother, who is probably about 2 years younger than me, you don't know my brother, do you?
I don't think I do.
No.
What's his name?
Alf.
Young Alf, is that what we call him?
Young Alf.
I don't think I've met him, but I know Tony talks about him.
Yeah, we've got a photograph of him in a swimming costume because my mum didn't have any trunks for him. And
the knitted one.
It wasn't quite a knitted one. It was kind of a bubbly one then.
Yeah.
With a halter neck. And a little blonde boy with a swim costume on, and I still remind him of that today.
Yeah.
And on those days we'd have that would be a real treat because we'd have fish and chips for lunch and probably an ice cream in the afternoon.
Yeah. So a week's holiday wasn't?
No, never until we were about maybe 11 or 12. Yeah. And then we started to have holidays. But the first one was in the Highlands of Scotland. Can you imagine it?
Yeah.
How boring for a child. And then we my dad sort of obviously realised that it wasn't really our thing, and then we did a few beach holidays around Norfolk and that. But we were getting.
So you travelled a fair way to
yes,
get to these
yeah,
places,
we did. Yeah.
Wasn't just going to Southport?
No. We didn't really go to Southport that very much, and we never went to Blackpool. My dad doesn't like places like that, so we weren't allowed to go. Yeah.
Would you have liked to have gone?
Yes, I probably would. Yeah.
Just to see what it was all about.
Just to see, what it was all about and see what was happening. Yeah. You saw a bit of it on the telly.
Yeah. Growing up around here, what did you do? What were the shops and things like? What was your facilities like?
Oh right. Well, there's never been any shops around here that I can remember of. I know that sort of certainly Colin talks about pubs and shops, and you think no. I suppose the nearest place would have been either Newborough Post Office. I always have fond memories of Newborough Post Office, all those sweeties. Sometimes, very, very rarely, we would go in there for sweets if my mum needed to use the post office. But it would be Burscough, I suppose. Yeah. Or Parbold. Yeah.
So if for your big shop, your Friday big shop.
Yeah.
Do you remember supermarkets?
I remember that we used to go to a wholesaler's. I suppose because I don't know whether you needed a special card or something, but I suppose because of the farm, they had a business pass. I don't know. Yeah. So we used to go there, and that's in Preston. Right. And that would be my mum and my auntie and me and my cousin, and that was a really treat to go there. But they used to buy things in boxes, so it'd be a box of washing powder, or boxes of boxes. Yeah. So it was kind of a wholesaler's, and we had a great big thing to pull around. So and I suppose that was I remember the first supermarket would have been an Asda, and that was in Preston.
Right.
So it's quite a way to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. There's Dave Whelan, you know, the Wigan owner. He started with a supermarket in Wigan.
Right.
Whelan's, believe it or not.
Right.
I mean, that's gone by the board. I don't know who bought them, or probably Morrison's or something like that. But, and again, supermarkets. For me, I don't know, so there was a Tesco in Burscough.
Was there?
Yeah.
Right.
I know there is one now, but there was another one.
Right.
Opposite, is it opposite, on the side opposite the post office?
Right, so where the co-op is now?
I think probably where the co-op is now, yeah.
Right.
Where else did we go? Again, I don't really remember going to a supermarket.
Well, no, because it would be
you'd have a local shop.
That's right, yeah.
We'd go to Foster's in Parbold.
Right.
You know, to get the main weekly shop.
Yeah.
And you'd have it delivered.
Yes.
You know, you just send your order in, phone it in, and they deliver it.
Right. You know. I actually, you've just reminded me that we used to have a bread man came in like a van. Yeah. And he, you know, my mum bought all the bread there. We had a chap
remember who it was?
Cedric.
Right. Oh, the name of the company?
No, yeah. I think he...
Wasn't Coulton's, was it?
No, because I don't think it had anything written on the van. Right. I don't know where Cedric came from, to be honest. And my mum used to get her bread from him, and we also had a chap came with fruit and veg. Right. In a van again, and she used to buy fruit and veg that way as well. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Was there a fishman? Because my nan used to get a fishman coming there every so often. Well, Fridays usually.
Yeah. No, I don't remember there being a fishman. No, I don't. Remember the ice cream man in the summer?
Did he come round here?
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yes. Well, he knew that he'd do good business down there because there was like 7 of us.
Right.
So, yeah. Can we have an ice cream? And we always got an ice cream. Yeah. And he used to give the dog one as well. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. But I've forgotten all about the bread man and the fruit and veg man.
Yeah. What about transport? Did you use public transport a lot?
Well, there was certainly not buses. The nearest place to get a bus would be up at the top there, where it still is near the garage or the Ring of Bells. No, other than going to school on the bus, and occasionally use the trains. Yeah. But very occasionally, we always had cars and always used cars. Right. Yeah.
Because I mean, we were the same. It was. I don't remember steam trains. Do you remember them?
No.
No. I mean, they went out of business out of use in 1968.
Right.
Oh. So you know, we were sort of 6 or 7. I should do, but say we had a car where we lived at. Do you know Fairest Farm?
Yeah.
On the way to Hildale. We lived there. My granddad and nan worked there. My mum and dad hired a cottage. You know, that was all. We weren't farmers or anything. But we had a car, you know, so you just went everywhere.
That's right, yeah.
And if you went into Parbold, you'd cross over the crossing, but I very rarely remember a train.
Yeah.
Or certainly not a steam train.
No.
I remember the gates.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stick in my memory.
No, it doesn't really me at all. No, I don't remember. Yeah. No.
So cars were the thing then. What sort of car did you have? Do you remember?
Yeah, we've had loads of cars. I always remember we had a Land Rover on the farm, which was a blue one, and the reg was RCW 407. I always remember that. The cars we had we had a Zephyr, a Zephyr 6, a silver one with the full front seat. Yeah. So there'd be my dad and me and my younger brother and my nan, my grandma in the front. Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a seatbelt. Yeah. How scary was that?
Yeah, sliding all over the place.
Yeah. So and then we've had Morris Maxi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he started getting Volvo estates, and he had quite a few of them, up to sort of more modern cars. Yeah. So yeah.
So did you move away when you got married?
Yeah, I did. Well, not far actually. We moved to Ackley Bridge.
Right.
And lived. That was quite a shock actually for me, because I'd always lived on a farm. Had lived away, for brief periods when I was working in hotels and doing my training. But always, most of my life had lived on a farm on a country road. So when we got married, we bought a house on a housing estate.
Where was that?
It was Ash Close. In
I know where that is.
Yeah, you go down Abbeydale.
Yeah, where that is, and I think we've mentioned this before when we've been talking in the pub, it's virtually on top of where my nan and granddad used to live, which was a place called Finch House.
Yeah.
Which got demolished in 1968 to make way for all those houses. Because there was clay pits, there was a brickworks and there was clay pits and all sorts around.
There was a lot of frogs, I believe.
That wouldn't surprise me, yeah. But there's quite a big hill there where Finch House stood. Yeah. And that was just flattened.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is, because we were very much in the valley, but there is a mound.
As you come up from the station, on Station Road, before you get to Randall's Corner, there's like a very sharp turn.
Yes.
And there's a little road up there. Now if you go up there, that's where Finch House used to be.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Because we then moved from Ash Close to Millbank, which is behind that road that you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Which got flooded. Were you
involved
in that?
No, we bought a house that hadn't flooded. I think it was the only one on the estate, or there was two, because we bought the second one as you went in, as you go in on the left. And I think the rest had flooded. Those two were a little bit higher and didn't.
Yeah.
But certainly, we were told about it when we bought the house.
Right.
And I think they've done some work on the culverts.
Probably, yeah.
Retrospectively.
Because my dad always said, I don't know why they're building there, because it'll flood.
Really?
Oh, he was right.
Yeah, it was, because it was apparently quite bad, wasn't it?
Well, he just wanted the Calico Brook to block up.
Yeah, and it did.
Just not come
I believe it was quite a mess.
Yeah. So when did you move to here, where we are in Hoscar?
We moved here in 1999, June 1999. We actually ended up, we decided to sell ours because our children were, at the time, Nikki was 4, she was due to start school in September, and Phil was about 7, he was already in school. And he was at Newbury School. And
so he was coming from Appley Bridge to Newbury School, right? And
I did that because I was working full time at that time when he went back into school, and I needed my mum to look after them, so I needed to drop.
Method in your madness.
Yeah, so it was kind of en route.
Yeah. Was that easy to set up then? Because you're out of one education authority into another.
It was very easy. I think the problem would have been when we got to high school.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons that we felt that we needed to do something then, whilst we were young enough really, and get them established here so that they could go to a school around here, because obviously the alternative would have been a Wigan school, and that would have been, for them it would have been a bit of, a bit of upheaval, wouldn't it, because they wouldn't have known anybody. So we moved in 1999.
Right, and you've lived here ever since?
We have.
Do you enjoy? Well, you obviously enjoy it around here because you're only around the corner from where you were brought up.
Yeah, so. I never thought I'd end up around here.
No.
I always wanted to live on a housing estate with lots of people and be, sort of having people round all the time, and then when I realised it really wasn't like that, I wanted it a bit quieter. So I do like living here. Yeah. Good. Yeah, and we're very lucky really having Colin next door.
Well, that's right. Yeah, the grumpy old man. Yeah.
But he's very good at keeping an eye on stuff.
He is,
yeah. So it's
Right, I think I've actually come to the end of what I want to ask you, unless there's anything else you want to tell me. But that's about it. What I've got here is a piece of text I'd like you to read, if that's okay. Read it out loud.
Oh gosh, right. Okay.
It's something we give to everybody, so don't worry about it. It's in virtually plain English. So.
Okay. The northwest of England has many interesting dialects, although some people have no idea about all the differences. If someone from the south saw an episode of Emmerdale on the television, they might think all the actors came from Yorkshire. Did they not? After all, that is where the programme comes from. But that's not the case, as at least 3 come from Lancashire. Well, I never knew that, so that's interesting. The production company looks for actors who sound northern. Maybe they think that with luck, no one will notice. I didn't. Apparently, Lancashire folk make good singers. I wouldn't. good singers too, because their accent is musical. Oh, right, okay, this is true, I presume, yeah. I have to say that it wouldn't take many fingers to count how many good singers I know, right. Accents have changed a lot over time. When I was little and sitting on a chair doing nothing, my father would always say, "Stir thyson and put kettle on." And if I moaned that I don't think I said that right, did I? That I haven't grown enough, I would be told to put horse muck in my boots. There are so many expressions that have disappeared, along with the old houses, mills and the factories that have been pulled down and turned into flats or car parks. Perhaps the television has brought some problems. We're used to listening to all sorts of accents, but really broad ones are rare. We are moving around more as well. 80 years ago, most people would stay in the same place all their lives, but now it isn't unusual to change jobs and houses several times. Travel is cheap too. Many years ago, it took months and months of saving to pay for a holiday, but now it costs buttons to go quite long distances, which might be a curse for those of us who like to stay at home. You only have to look at all the holiday adverts to see that purses must be deep to afford the prices. Given a choice, some people might want to get rid of their accent. They think it is likely to count against them when faced with a job interview, and somehow not quite nice. But most of us are proud of our accent and don't want it to disappear forever, leaving everyone speaking exactly the same.
Carole with an E, thank you very much indeed for talking to me tonight.
It's been a pleasure.